Thank you everyone for coming back to season 6. Well, it's been an interesting 2 weeks we've had since I last recorded. Self-isolation, it's been a very strange break indeed for university. It's been pretty miserable and wet here in Sydney. University has kicked off. We're doing a big focus on strategic management. I'm really interested to see how businesses are planning for COVID, or are businesses taking strategy, are taking COVID into their strategic management or the strategic way of thinking to give themselves a better competitive advantage over their, or a competitive advantage over the competitors. Anyway, I digress. We're at season 6. This is the intro. This is going to be a very quick one, just for a bit of an overview of, are you aware of a Jinja 2 templating language? Are you aware of a module called template? And we're just going to cover that off today, where it can be applied, switches, routers, firewalls, and even some Linux config templates. But let's get straight into this introduction of what is Jinja 2 templating. There's been no updated files for this. This is just the intro. This is the remix. But please keep an eye out on Git for further updates, especially as we hit season 6, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, which are going to be pretty fun. So, Jinja 2, what is it? It's a modern day templating language primarily designed for Python, which we can use heavily in Ansible due to its lineage being Python. It's a language that allows us to complement existing boring network files, if you will, by inserting variables. The ability to iterate or loop. We can leverage some conditional arguments, which we're going to cover later. But if we look at just here on our screen from a great website I found, ansible.civil.net, we've got our key value pairs where we're going to pull data from, our dictionary, if you will. We've got our template, which for here is just a boring text file, a boring piece of string. And then our rendered output, which takes the values, puts it into the string, and voila. So if we were to look at that, my name is name, John. I attend uni, CSU, at the age of 43. I, which should be uppercase, have accumulated debt, lots. My name is John. I attend CSU. At the age of 43, I have accumulated lots of debt, sad face. Yes, the price of doing your MBA so late in life. So where could we use templating? That's a great question, and thank you for asking myself. In the world of networking, we've got a lot of pretty static files. It's not like we're writing code. In the world of software development, a lot of what we do is very much recycled. Such as if you work for a networking team or for a networking company, you'll more than likely have a wiki file, a wiki page, which has got how you implement BGP. If you work in a data center team that leverages Cumulus, you'll have a template for how you would deploy, maybe when you stand up, your switch configuration. If you're in a server team, you're going to have a pretty static file around your NTP configuration. What templating tools allow us to do is take these rather boring files and import the values from somewhere. That can be from the variables inserted into a play. What we're going to do is we're going to still build upon our experience of leveraging the host-based variables in our host vars to populate configuration snippets like this as we really continue our automation journey. So looking at a fun example, if you're a networker, this will make some sense to you. This is the config we want to generate. It's just a simple BGP stanza. It's got some values, such as the AS number, the IP address of our neighbor, the AS number of our neighbor. Now I've just picked one out of my head. So this is a Google address with an AAPT AS. So you can tell that's not a standard config. But where do we generate this from? So this is our template. Obviously you can see where I'm pulling some variables from. It's very repetitive, as you see. And where am I getting the values from? This is where I've got my, well, if you can think of it as a dictionary, our key value pairs. This very much would be coming typically from our host var file. Once again, please feel free to go and test. I would love to see what you come up with. So, are you aware that to generate templates, guess what? There's actually a module called the template module. Indeed, the template module, we can invoke this very easily by simply calling it. It has a concept of source and destination. As we can see here, the .j2 is a type of file extension that defines a Jinja2 file. Paths are relative. Always keep that in mind, and we're going to touch on this in further demonstrations. So before I go and close off the quick intro, I just wanted to cover off, hey, are you aware that we have this really cool language at our disposal called Jinja 2? How do we use it? Well, you might want to familiarize yourself with the template module. Once again, you can just head over to Ansible, look for the module called template, and you will find some great examples there. Also, what are some use cases where we could use a templating language? And we covered that off here with some, you could be deploying router configurations, snippets of configs. A very typical one is quaz. A lot of the time in networking, I will see quaz just cut and pasted incorrectly. Yet that happens more than you think. So once again, I will point out, like any type of variable, if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. Obviously, you can, as you develop your automation journey, you can insert error correction. But for today, just wanted to tell you, hey, there's this cool language. Here's how you'll know more. And guess what? In the next episode, we're going to start really using this to create snippets of configuration, and we're going to then push it out to our networking fleet. We're not just going to do the routers. By the way, I've got another router. We're also going to push it out to things like NTP. We're going to push it out to all of the boxes, including the Raspberry Pi. So I look forward to hosting everyone in the next episode, which is Season 6, Episode 1. Until then, stay safe, cases are jumping, and protect your loved ones. Okay, see you all soon. Cheers.